Why are many people today experiencing an existential crisis, a disconnection of each other in relationships, and also just a sense of purposelessness? We're watching a video today from a channel, Alex Way, and he's going to discuss some of the new issues that Gen Z faces, but even people like the millennials and beyond that are still struggling if they're single or trying to find connection with others in today's world.
Modern life is designed to break you. And no, I don't mean that in a poetic, metaphorical way. I mean literally. Your job, your relationships, your lifestyle, even your sense of self, all of it is set up in a way that's meant to drain you. In a way that makes you feel like you're constantly behind, constantly not enough, constantly stuck, and constantly not as good as other people around you. And if
There's a sense of anxiety that many people have today because you're just constantly chasing. That's why I have a whole channel called Chase the Escape, because I think that's what a lot of us are looking for, is an escape from this rat race, this escaping this constant go, go, go. Like, I don't have enough. I'm living paycheck to paycheck, essentially.
we're all going through something like this. Aside from the top 0.001% of people in wealth and status, I guarantee you that we're all going through something similar like this. It's not just dysfunctional, it's intentional. On a macro level, it's almost like there's a system in place, some kind of weird partnership between corporations, government, and just the overall culture that's been designed to keep you alive just long enough to milk your money and drain your life force in the process.
Do any of you feel like we're just being farmed? Like when you think about how a rancher or farmer raises livestock to produce meat for the industry, for the grocery stores, the community, and then they, each level of the way mark up the price. And I feel like that's kind of what our government's tax systems do to us today, where in the beginning its intention was more so to serve the people, to have these securities and defenses in place for the most vulnerable. But I think most of us would agree today, like, our funds are not being used effectively by our leadership. And that's just causing a lot of anger and aggression towards other groups. And it's really the people in charge that's to blame, but they got us fighting each other. And it's sad because the people that need help the most a lot of times don't get it. It's sad.
Is it just me who feels that way, or have you kind of started to see the same thing too? I mean, something like that sounds extreme, but if you zoom out, I think that's exactly what it looks like. This system, if we should call it that, it's built for productivity, not people, for profit, not peace. And the craziest thing is that if you're not breaking under the weight of it all, then that probably means you're numbing yourself just enough to get by, and that's what they want.
Yeah, I think a lot of us live in this delusional happiness, and we've trained ourselves or have been conditioned by others to say, hey, don't worry, focus on the good things. Take it day by day, step by step. Because, when you take it all in at the same time and realize how many angles you're getting screwed through taxation, double taxation, registrations, house insurances, like all these things just crush a person that barely make hardly any income, or God forbid you lose a job and can't find one for a while. Like, you can go broke in a matter of weeks in this country.
If you've ever wondered why you feel so disconnected from the world around you, why work feels so pointless, why dating feels like a rigged game, and why even basic happiness seems like something that's so difficult to achieve, you're not alone, and you're not fucking crazy. The truth is that the world has changed, but we never got the memo. No one taught us that, and we find ourselves still trying to live out meaningful lives in a system that's quietly stripped away everything that used to make life meaningful. And while we're constantly told to just work harder and grind and hustle, the truth is that it's tough for most of us. If it were just myself going through this, I wouldn't have the arrogance to talk about this topic. It's only because I know that a lot of people, especially young guys my age, were feeling overwhelmed and just quietly wondering, like, is this all there is to life? And I think no one wants to say this kind of stuff aloud because doing so feels like admitting defeat, but someone needs to talk about it. And I feel fine with doing that because I don't see it as defeat. I see it as awareness. And awareness is the first step to breaking free.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of these low end entry level jobs that people get stuck in even after they've gone to college and have all that debt. And so that repayment and paying rent and paying insurance and paying groceries, and you can't afford all of that anymore on an entry level position. Even as wages increase, the inflation is outpacing it. So it doesn't matter if you're making $15 or up today. Like when I used to start out working at Best Buy, I was making $8 an hour. That sucked. And eventually you spend enough days there you do feel that meaningless, that purposelessness about, I'm not getting ahead. And all my time is being spent here. And all the time I am allowed off, I'm so freaking beat, tired, and just drained. It's not a healthy work-life balance many of us have, unless you're just very enthused about your job and you feel like you're making a difference. But the truth is, most of these positions are exploitative, and we're robbing Peter to pay Paul, and it's all transactionary relationships, and that's why it feels so dirty sometimes. Like people won't even give you care or consideration unless there's reward of payment behind it.
Because what we're up against isn't just a country, a corporation, or a culture. I can't even explain it, but it just seems like some kind of machine that's designed to keep you constantly tired, consuming, and distracted from what's really going on. I feel like the most obvious problem nowadays is work and your career. For one, even just getting a job nowadays. It's like playing a slot machine that only pays out if you have a master's degree and already 5 years of experience for an entry-level job. Some of the demands you see on job applications is just crazy nowadays. It's hyper competitive, it's cutthroat, and thanks to AI, things are about to get even worse.
Yeah, the job market is ridiculous. Even before this AI boom, I heard stories of people sending out hundreds of applications on sites like Indeed or Glassdoor and not even hardly getting interviews. So just think about how demoralizing, how defeated, how self-esteemed you're lowering yourself by getting all these rejections and thinking like, well, maybe nobody wants me, maybe my skills are worthless. And for some of us who did go to college and got degrees and even graduated towards the top of your class with a high GPA, we still can't get jobs in our own industry, or AI is replacing our industry, which is going to lower any of the entry level positions because those are going to be gone. AI is going to be doing a lot of that, much like a lot of other jobs coming soon, I feel like, because robots are on the tail end. And once you have systems controlling robots, work has advanced so much technologically speaking in the last few decades, and our workload hasn't. And our rent and our cost of living has increased also. So that, to me, I'm like, why does that make sense? These evolutions of technology should have reduced our workload and increased our income. We used to be able to support a family on one person's income, and that way you could spend time at home with the family and the kids and have it like a connected family. But I think that's what this kid's getting into, is like the government's designing things where we're going to be more dependent on the systems of government balancing things out versus depending on human connection. And that's kind of sad.
It's already hard enough to compete with other people around you in a globalized economy, but soon it's not just going to be other people. You're going to be competing against robots too. Machines that don't sleep, don't eat, don't get sick, don't take days off, and don't require money to survive. If a corporation can cut costs and get the same efficiency or even better, why the fuck would they not do it? It seems like the job market is just evolving faster than we can adapt, and most of us are left scrambling to catch up if you're not like the top 0.1% of talent. But let's say you do go through all that hassle of applying to the job, and you do get it. Congrats. What's next? You get to work 9 to 5 for the next 40 years of your life? Well, the government takes your taxpayer money and sends it to Israel, giving your entire life and your energy to a company that can just let you go without warning if they ever wanted to. But during the time that you are lucky enough for them to allow you to work for them, you spend your days doing tasks that just feel meaningless. Sitting in boring meetings, writing mundane emails, and overall just pretending to care about things you don't really care about, for being honest. Also, you can do what? Afford rent? food, a house, groceries, a Netflix subscription. It just becomes a cycle of living to
Of
work and
numbing.
working to live.
My dad worked factory type jobs and for Walmart distribution for like 20, 30 years. And I can tell you, he was a hard ass worker to the point where he was breaking his back. He actually did break his back and had to have surgery, and he still has problems and nerve pain and stuff because he just overworked himself and didn't care for himself on his time off because he was tired and stressed and whatever else. But my point is, he was so stressed of missing work every single week. Even when he got sick, people are coming into work getting other people sick, and that was a huge problem during COVID. And people just have that anxiety of, oh, I'm going to get written up, I'm going to lose my job. Or like, at least if you've made it towards the end of the year and think, well, I haven't been written up once yet and I have 3 strikes, so I could kind of take a relaxing time now. There's a lot of this artificial stress in life that just shouldn't exist, and it accumulates in a person.
Live. But what's the point in all that? It feels like there's no dignity in it anymore. And unlike in the past, not even like a sense of stability. Again, the global marketplace is more competitive than ever, and companies have more reasons than ever to fire you without warning. The whole process of going through like a normal job and career, it just feels like endless resumes, endless rejections, and the looming fear of falling behind. But what's worse is that in the past, there was at least reason to justify living that way. They sold you the dream of a stable career with a pension and a paid-off house, but it's 2025 and it seems like that whole thing is a relic of the past.
I'm going to leave this kid's video in the description. I'm going to watch the rest of it after this. But yeah, the price is out of control. Everything's a subscription or a membership. Basically, how I would put it, if your money isn't making money, you're in survival mode. You're one bad event away from bankruptcy or homelessness or living on your friend's couch if you have friends. But like you said, we're getting more and more isolated every year. We're only communicating through our phones. Even my best friends only get together a couple times a year. It's sad. And even my relationship feels very limited because of our screen time. And we're living these fantasy experiences through apps like TikTok and watching some people's like best glimpses of their life and thinking that's their entire life. But like, I'm guilty too. It's like I'm sharing some of the best moments I've had when I'm out and about. And that's why sometimes I try to give you more real videos where I talk about some of the hardships and stress I've faced. Because life isn't all glam, and it's a struggle, and it's pain, and it's disappointment. And that's what this new generation is facing. I think it's, everyone's feeling that overwhelmed anxiety of going into the future. Like, jobs are getting less, AI is taking over, relationships are getting fake. And I'll be honest, I've started talking to a few different AI chatbots like Grok and ChatGPT and Gemini and stuff, and I can see that in the next few years replacing some relationships. Because when you got no one to talk to, or you just feel like no one really gives a shit about you, you feel unneeded. We all want to live in a fantasy. We all want to have that delusion of happiness. Anyway, go subscribe. Check out the next video. Comment below. What do you think about modern relationships and finances?